Hello, I'm Kai.
And I'm Jason, and this is Growing with the Girtleys. I hope you guys are having a sensational day. So we're basically going to introduce our new video. It's basically Real Conversations Part 3 with my favorite, big, and only brother, Larry, and his wife, Liz. And they talk about all the struggles they had when they got married, what they're doing to try to keep their marriage alive, and some of the issues that they went through, and what they did to get out of it. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and we love you guys. Thank you guys for supporting us, and we hope you enjoy.
In Columbia College in Chicago, and I am also a photographer, videographer for my business Post by LCG Photography. And this is my husband, Larry.
That's true. I'm Larry. This is my wife. We've been married, almost 12 years. Mm-hmm. I am a financial advisor / consultant. So I'm into life insurance, annuities, things of that nature. And my goal is just to educate our community on just financial wealth and health. And just giving them the information they could use to help them and their families for the most part.
Go for it.
So we were friends for a very, very long time. So long that there were relationships within our friendship. So we met in college, and then we've been knowing each other from college up until adult. We became adults and on our own. So I was seeing someone, he was seeing someone, I was still seeing someone. He ended up marrying the someone that he was seeing, and we had at one point went our separate ways. We had lost contact with each other.
What was the span of time?
Just we about lost contact. It was a while, right?
I can't give you specific.
4 years, about 5.
No,
one,
it wasn't
2.
It wasn't that long.
Okay.
It was maybe a year and a half or so. Okay. It was long enough for him to get married to someone, and so we ended up, ironically, we bumped into each other at Jules, and he was like, "Hey, Liz," and I had forgot his name, and so I was like, "I know him," but that tells you how long it was that we had a space in, that we had not talked to each other. He hadn't gotten married at the time yet. He was about to get married, and so we bumped into each other at the Jules. We were saying hello to each other. He said he was getting married. I was like, congratulations. And then, it was just like, we restarted our friendship from there. But, I was in a relationship too. And so we had a long friendship off and on. There was gaps in the friendship, but somehow we just, we just remained friends throughout those relationships until they both came to a halt. The person that I was with, it just didn't work out. There were many reasons that we don't even have to get into because, they were just deal breakers for me. And he was he can talk about his marriage, but he got divorced. He ended up getting divorced. And
So Steve, so Larry, you had gotten a divorce. Now we're at this point, so we're going to kind of fast forward. And now you're single again. So now are you still in conversations with Liz, or so kind of take us to that place of you both now being single.
okay.
In fact, Liz came to my divorce party after I got divorced. So she brought the food and stuff. She saw a few of my co-workers there. We were just for me it was more of I just mourn differently than like maybe the average. And I believe my father and grandma came as well, man.
His grandmother was there.
It was a real interesting situation.
Rest her
You know what
soul.
I'm saying?
She was at the party.
Kicking it, and so I believe we kind of blossomed from that point on as far as being together and stuff. So.
Okay. So I just had a question about that. Most people, I shouldn't say most, but there are people who, once they've been divorced, they don't want no parts of marriage. Revisiting marriage, like, the most they'll do is get back into like a serious relationship. But
It was number one. I was two parents. In fact, they're celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. So thank you, Mom and Dad. You know what I'm saying? But the number one thing, I believe I was just raised in a certain household, and I kind of saw marriage from a different perspective. The actual relationship, and you could see how two people care for each other. So I kind of always had that experience where I figured I was probably gonna get married again.
right.
The second reason is in my first marriage, one of our issues was mental illness.
Okay.
And that's not really talked about. Well, it's getting a little bit better in our community, but it's
real.
it is real, but it's even more taboo to discuss, especially when you're talking about your spouse, your loved one, the person that you are supporting.
Right.
People don't want to go into, and that's fine, personal business, because it is private. So just dealing with that, I knew that I still might have a chance at love.
Okay.
When you come from an experience like that, you kind of understand that, every human has his issues, and everybody deal with it different, and it just makes you more want to be with someone that you could equally be yoked with, equally, share with.
And so that's what you saw in Liz. I wanted to kind of.
Okay, right.
Okay.
I think it was more of that, like equally yoked and somebody like-minded.
Like I said, it started out with just being able to be comfortable with him. He was easy to confide in, and he checked all the boxes. I mean, he came from a 2-parent household. He was a black man working. He was self-sufficient, and he was cute. He just fit all of the boxes for me, and it was just a no-brainer. But it was really more about I can trust him. He's my friend, and I've confessed to him that he's my best friend. And at the time, like I said, at one point we were still talking. I was dating, and the person that I was mainly dating, I noticed that I was talking to Larry and confiding to Larry more than to that person, and so that's when I kind of knew, like,
But
this
let me
might be
ask.
something.
Thank you for that, both of you. I appreciate that. I just have a question, because coming into the marriage, there was a baby. Larry had already had a child. How did that make you feel, Liz? Because you had not had any children yet.
Yeah, I didn't mind him having a child.
Okay.
I didn't mind that at all. I kind of figured that, the ratio of black men, not having children was slim to none.
So that
already.
wasn't
It wasn't an issue for me.
Good.
No, it wasn't like he had 3 kids and
Right.
3 baby mamas. It was he had 1 kid, and so
Mm-hmm.
that was not an issue for me at all.
So the question we have is that so with the blended family, it was a smooth transition for you, and for both of you guys. There wasn't like no real issues at all with that.
No, I don't even really feel like it was like so strict to be a blended family, because I didn't have any children, so there was really nothing to blend. It was just me taking on a stepson. And the transition was pretty easy. Like I said, Larry's pretty, responsible. There were no issues as far as like, baby mama drama or anything like that. His son's mother is, there's just not an issue there. She's nice, she takes care of her son. She respects me for the most part. I just didn't have those issues with her. And he takes care of his business for his child, so we didn't have any, major backlash issues where, that would come up in the relationship. It was probably the smoothest transition into marrying someone with a child that I could ask for.
So, as two diverse people like yourself, so my brother, you're into the whole financial, doing your entrepreneurship thing going on. Liz, you got a normal 9 to 5, as well as doing your second baby, Posed by LCG. With all the stuff that you guys got going on in your lives, how do you guys make your marriage work?
You want to start because I'm pretty busy, most of the time. So, I just, try to balance out all the things and the family life at the same time. But I'm interested to see what you say, how we work that out. Because it is difficult. It's not easy. There are a lot of things going on all the time, every day. It's nonstop. And that's something that I'm currently working on. I'm not perfect with that. But, we're also at the stage where, we still have, a kid that's, we're trying to get out of our bed. So, we're just trying to figure out, that family and work-life balance, which I know is, something that most couples go through, that, get married, have a child. It's just, normal things, but, how do you think we make that work out?
I think the number one thing is, by far, is communication. Like, getting to a point where you could just say your honest feelings about different things. I know with us in particular, it was in the beginning it was difficult to be honest like that. Like, you don't want to demean your counterpart or make them feel a certain way. Especially when you're dealing with marriage in the household. So just trying to communicate and say honest emotions about different things, because I've learned, just in my experiences, definitely being previously married, how everything could turn into a pound cake if it's not addressed. The biggest thing is about acknowledging your counterpart's feelings. That's the biggest thing. Like, you have to acknowledge feelings. You have to say, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. But this is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. And I believe if you have a relationship like that, where at the very least you can just acknowledge your counterpart, I think that'll go a long way in your relationship, in particular, staying together.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I actually feel like, with the whole, I'm his second wife. And so I've always said, I lucked up with that, because there were a lot of things in our marriage that I feel like he, foresaw that would happen that I did not know would happen, and he handled it very well. Certain situations that could have grew up into other things, but because he had been married already, he had saw how those things could turn out. He was just ahead of it, and so, I kind of appreciated that, because those things can turn into from small things to big things, and just by him having that knowledge and that wisdom from the first marriage, that helped us a lot.
And my last question for both of you guys: do you guys have any regrets on anything? Any regrets at all?
As far as like our
Your life,
relationship,
just in our relationship.
Whatever sounds good to you.
As it relates to the relationship, because our goal is to always point towards marriage and to stay married.
Yeah.
So were there ever challenges that you may have encountered where you look back now and say, man, we should have done that differently? So within the marriage.
All right. I'm gonna go first. I know from my perspective, I really don't have no regrets. Like everything that we've been through is just the road to getting here. We had to bump heads a few times, and I don't want to pull my punches because it had to go down. It had to happen for us to grow. So everything we've been through, as far as our relationship is concerned, I don't have no regrets. And I have regrets as far as life and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But like in my relationship now, like just from my perspective, I mean, it's pointless to have, to me, it's pointless to have regrets because you can't really do nothing about it. It's just like wasted emotion or whatever, to really ponder over how you could have done better in the past. It's pointless because you can't go back. So that's how I look at it in my relationship. Everything we've been through was purposely. It had to go. There was no other way it could. It had to happen like that. So that's just my spiel on it.
Yeah, I don't think I have any regrets either. I think that, like I said, this is like such an easy, he's easy to love. And I tell people that all the time, that's so important. You don't have to have struggle love. Like, it's not necessary. And, I think in our community, in the Black community, a lot of us feel like, I have to be here for him through this, through that. And yeah, you should be the rock for the person that you're with, but it doesn't have to always be a consistent in the relationship. And so, like, I have friends and family that call him the last unicorn because they're like, where did you find him? Does he have a brother? Like, what is like where did you find this man in this 2-parent household? One child, like one, you asked me about, did you have an issue with the one? No, because that was like pretty okay. And so I don't have any regrets at all. I was older when I got married. I was 35. You were 30. How old were you when we got married?
No, you was 35 when you had the baby.
I was 30 when we got married, and you were 35, right?
34.
Okay. Okay. Right. So we were both older getting married. We were more mature. We had, it was a decision to get married. It wasn't, something like, there was no pressure from outside sources. There was no reason.
No, I'm not going to say that. I disagree. It was pressure.
Who pressured you?
Man, your people, your family.
Oh,
the same folk.
Okay.
The same folk. The church folk.
So why?
It's just that I'm just a charismatic leader and I feel no pressure outside the household, so it doesn't matter. But it was pressure. I just chose not to feel it.
There was pressure from my side because we decided that we would live together the first year. So we ended up, as the Saints would say, shacking for a whole year before we got married. And that was just a personal decision. Like I said, we were pretty grown. You know, he had his own place, I had my own place. We were two hoes coming together, and so it was a decision to live together to see how this would work. And then, you know, but within that year, yeah, my mother was pretty on him. So, but you know, he handled her well. He still handles her well to this day. And she loves him to death. Sometimes she just can't help herself, but you know how mothers are. But yes, in that aspect there was pressure, but he handled it pretty well. So I have a YouTube channel called Liz Calhoun is my name. It's hosted by LCG Photography, so you can look me up, hit that subscribe button, and start to look at all the past videos that you probably missed. Our daughter also has a YouTube channel. It's called Lauren Danielle. It's LORENDANYALE. It's Lauren Danielle on YouTube, and she also has a store, laurendanielle.com, so you can visit the website to buy all the things that little girls love. So yes, please subscribe. Please go visit the website, and then you want to plug your business?
Thank you. Yeah, I will do it. You know what? I don't know about like plugging a business, but I do know about having a desire and a passion to help my community. So, if you have any type of questions or concerns in regards to like life insurance or annuities or like anything of a financial nature, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm on Facebook, but you know I'm just older, man. The social media thing, it's just but I'm getting better though. So definitely, if you have questions, please contact me. And also, I want you to like my family.
Yes.
What's the name of the show?
Growing with the Girtleys. What you're watching now.
Won't you subscribe or
like
whatever the
it.
hell.
Go back and watch all the old videos.
Tell all your people.
Yes.
To do the same, because this is some real content.
Yes.
And at the core, it's a real passion to help families, help marriages, help, you know, in any way they can. I definitely give Jason and Kai, you know, major props.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big step for me. I'm so proud. I really try not to like let people in the intimacies of my relationship or my household. I'm just, you know, private like that. But I will step out in the spotlight for my family. So definitely support these guys. Like, subscribe, all that shit.
Yeah. This is like pulling teeth, so we definitely love Kai and Jay. So hit that subscribe button and like it.